Well, hello, members of the MTB Allen YouTube channel. Thanks again for supporting the channel, being a member, and sticking with me. I really appreciate it. We are back from Whistler. It's been a little while that we've been back, but I haven't done a crew cut since we did the one in Whistler Village. I hope that was okay. I know it was a little bit weird, but I've been reflecting on things, and I've got thoughts about how going to the mountain bike mecca of the world, probably like going to any other type of mecca, how that has changed me in certain ways. Things look different to me now. Things feel different. There is something to be said about going to, what might be considered a global measuring stick, of mountain biking. Going there and riding trails that you can use to kind of measure yourself against. Not necessarily in a competitive way, but when you go to a place like that, when I went to Whistler, I was riding trails like A-Line and Dirt Merchant, and then a lot of the tech trails that I've seen on video so much, and I've seen so many famous mountain bikers ride. World-class riders rode those trails, have ridden those trails, and now I've ridden them too. And it's cool to have tread where they ride where they have ridden and do a lot of the same features. Obviously not with the same level of skill, but did it and know where I'm at. And to be clear, I look at these things not about in a competitive way, but in a way to see where I'm at. To me, that's always really valuable information. Where am I at in my skill level? So I've been riding, the biggest jumps that I've got around me are on Party Wave Westridge, and they're pretty decent sized jumps. And it's also a pretty high speed trail. So I know that I've developed skills and comfort with that size of jump and that speed of a trail. How does that measure up when I go to a place like Whistler? And long story short, I was pretty humbled the first day or so. But then I gained confidence on A-Line. I never fully just could let go on A-Line. I was always a little bit tentative on at least a couple of the jumps, and then on Dirt Merchant, I would give myself a solid C+ on my Dirt Merchant riding performance. But point being, it really let me know where I'm at as a rider. Going into these things, I try to be as neutral as possible. I try not to have too many assumptions, expectations about where I'm gonna be when I go ride these trails. I feel like that's the way that I can go get hurt. Like I said, I knew I was confident on Party Wave to Westridge, but I didn't go into A-Line going I know how to ride jumps and go fast and do all this stuff, and I'm just gonna frickin' send it. And I'm really glad I didn't do that, because there were definitely a couple of jumps that I got bugged on. And some of that had to do with just kind of the jump before it, the speed you come into it, and the way the lip was. One jump in particular that I always was cautious on, because it bucked me several times even though I was conscious of it, was, if you know A-Line, this is talking to those who have ridden A-Line, before the Moon Booter, there are two tabletops. It's the second tabletop. I don't think I'm remembering my conversation with Nick Van Ken, And I had thought it was the lip. I thought it was this, that, the other thing. And to some degree, it is the positioning of that jump in relation to the jump before it. But Nick pointed out that there's kind of a hole. There was a hole in the lip, and I think I was hitting that hole, and that's kind of what was getting me bucked. In any case, I didn't have full confidence. So what I'm getting to, though, is that I was able to ride the most famous jump line in the world decently. Maybe a B minus, maybe a B, and I did it. And I'm pretty stoked on that. And yeah, there was also I realized on a totally different channel, a totally different dynamic about myself. I realized something about my mental state, my mental health, I guess, that I kind of have achieved a level of not giving a fuck in that, and that revealed itself to me because, again, I was in the mountain bike mecca of the world, a place where, we all know these trails and everybody knows it's this world-class place. And as I'm walking around, I'm realizing there's a lot of posturing going on. And, not just among mountain bikers, but just people in general. They're just walking around this village, this place, this famous place. It's Whistler, and they're walking around, and there's just I see so many, particularly dudes, but women too, just feeling the need to look like they're cool and signal to you and posture and let you know that, hey, I am cool. I'm a cool person. And then specifically with the mountain biking, hey, I'm a cool rider or whatever. And then even beyond that, just there were a lot of people that I think were wearing their mountain biking gear a little too long because they really needed you to know that they were mountain bikers. And I think somehow I would just be walking around and I just realized that I kind of didn't care what anybody thought. I mean, I for instance, here's a good example. So it was day 6 of my trip. I was leaving the next day. My bike park pass had run out. I wasn't planning on riding that day. So I was just, I did a couple of things, went to a lake and stuff, but I was walking around the village and not wearing anything that screamed, I mountain bike, and I just had a good time walking around not caring. I was even at one point in the Bike and Bean, which is the bike shop that's right there at the bottom of the gondola, and I wanted to go buy some A-Line Whistler memorabilia, and I'm in line with my A-Line stuff, and this super cool looking tattooed up mountain biking lady is standing behind me, and I can see her eyeing what I have, and then I literally watch her eye me up and down, and because I'm just wearing a pair of jeans, t-shirt, whatever, just look like some random guy, and she literally gives me this look who's this guy? Does he even know what he's buying? And I laughed. I legitimately laughed because I didn't care what she thought, and a lot of that also had to do with how good I felt riding, the amount of progress I did. Because for me, I had done what I had come to do, which was to progress, which was to see where I was at in my riding skills, where I was at measured up against these world-class trails and this world-class terrain, including the Double Black Diamond Tech Trails. And at that point, I kind of didn't care, and it felt good. So yeah. Anyway, I need to go buy a shirt because I'm going to a wedding and I only have t-shirts, so I don't want to wear a t-shirt to this wedding, so I've come to Leroy's and I'm gonna go buy probably a skate branded shirt that looks a little bit nicer than a t-shirt. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. By the way, cold showers, I've been doing cold showers. The cold showers in Whistler were really freaking cold, and honestly, I didn't go full cold the first day or two, but by midweek I was going full cold in the cold shower, and I have to say that is a lot of what kept me riding strong 5 days in a row. So again, thanks for being a member, and I'll see you on the next crew cut. Let's go get a shirt.